This seems like a tall order to stop entering moments, but it's not that hard to wrap your head around. Let me sketch out for you what this looks like, a self that does not enter or exit any moments. Let's take that moment we've been working with already, the one of kitchen table, breakfast, sunlight, eggs, bacon frying, your partner touching you as she goes by. That morning began with you waking up early, the neighbor getting into his pickup to go fishing, a truck door closing. You got out of bed to make coffee. You like that half hour before your partner wakes up. It's your world, in a way, for a while. Eventually the cat shows up and wants out. You take a cup of coffee back upstairs to your partner and see she is still sleeping. You leave it on the bedside table. And now, eggs frying, sunlight coming through the window, kitchen table half set. She comes in and touches you as she goes by. Normally you think that moving through all these moments there is a single self, and that this self is who you are. Here's how that same sequence looks when no self is entering or exiting any moment. A truck door closes and you awaken. The world slowly whooshes up into a phenomenal moment, a warm, familiar body at your side, a thought that it's Saturday, I'm not going to work, an engine starting on the second crank. Another moment occurs. You are reading headlines, scratching your knee, sound of coffee brewing, smell of coffee brewing, Saturday morning feeling. Another moment occurs. You've gone upstairs a second time to see if she's awake. The bed is empty. The coffee, several sips taken, is on the bedside table. Another moment occurs. Eggs frying, sunlight on the table, something is buzzing. Your partner brushes past. The you that awakens does not come from the previous moment of you asleep. It arises from a truck door closing, a quiet neighbor who likes to fish, warmth through the blankets, cool morning air flowing through the window. It comes from 12 years of a warm human beside you. It comes from not having to go to work. It comes from a sleepy anticipation of a quiet half hour alone, a cup of coffee all to yourself. This other moment is arising from coffee maker. It is arising from the scrape you got on your knee last week playing company soccer. It is arising from headlines that are mainly saying things you already know. It is arising from the sensation of being quietly alone, in a slow eddy at the beginning of your day. This other moment is arising from a glance that sees the coffee has been sipped, the quiet, happy feeling that gives. It arises from a rumple of blankets, the shape of your partner in the sheets. Another moment happens. It arises as eggs frying, partner brushing by, sunlight, something buzzing softly. It is not necessary for there to be a continuous you moving between these moments. They are occurring just fine as discontinuous, complete moments of world, moments that are also discontinuous, complete moments of you. So the problem is not in what's going on. It's in your beliefs about what's going on. You just don't believe this is possible. You are completely hardwired with the Russian doll arrangement that your OS is inserting into each phenomenal moment. You think that the continuous self is one of these Russian dolls, that it is a structural feature of reality, along with external time and space. It is simply not possible for you to be discontinuous. So what I want to do is take a moment from this quiet Saturday morning and look at it in two ways. First, with this whole Russian doll structure in place, and then the same moment with none of these structural separations in place. Let's take that moment when you were up early, down in the kitchen, making coffee. The sound of the coffee maker, the smell of the coffee. You are standing at the kitchen counter, looking through the window at the backyard. An old locust tree with deeply grooved bark. Sunshine, the first squirrels. No sound from your partner upstairs. Let's look first at how you've always experienced this sort of moment in terms of your Russian doll ontology. Time is the largest container. You and everything around you exist in time, and it all feels extended. The tree outside is growing older in time. You and your partner, upstairs still asleep, have been moving through time more or less side by side for 12 years now. The countertop beneath your elbows came from yesterday and will be there tomorrow. The table behind you was in your childhood kitchen 25 years ago. Let's look at the next container, the world that you are in. You are standing in the kitchen. The tree is out there in the yard, separated from you by empty space, and the street and the neighbors' houses are just beyond. Your partner is upstairs, still asleep. The kitchen table is behind you spatially. You can't see it, but you know it's there, about 3 feet away. So all these different things are located or suspended in space, separate from the you that is standing in the kitchen. And all of this adds up to the world, the place that you are in. So in terms of our Russian dolls, the you in the middle of all this, who is standing in the kitchen, is located in time and in the world, and is thus separate from them. They are the containers that you are in. You bump up against these containers in various ways, but they are not in any way part of who you are. When we look at this same moment in terms of dependent arising, this whole container structure collapses. All these spatial separations between you and time and being are just not there. But the world seems to function just fine. So let's go through this moment of you in the kitchen one more time and collapse these containers one by one, so that we end up in a dependently arising event, with time, world, and self all occurring together as a single phenomenal moment, as just one thing going on. This exact process we are about to do, collapsing these structures, is what you have to do manually all the time, all day long, when you first get serious about Zen. You have to take control over how you experience each moment, and stop wandering through these various mental structures that are not really there. You have to relentlessly collapse the structures that you are constantly inserting into your moment-by-moment encounter with world. The first structural container we want to collapse is that of time. If we look at this exact moment of world, it seems to be made up of an infinite number of moments. There's a moment of you standing at the kitchen counter. There's a moment of coffee machine, a moment of locust tree, a moment of table. All these moments are dependently arising on many other moments. Moments of roots and soil. Moments of coffee and coffee growers. Moments of 4th grade and your uncle. Moments of partner. Each of these moments that we're talking about is arising dependently on countless other moments. The architect who planned the house so the locust tree would not be cut down. Rain and mist on a Guatemalan mountainside. Your dad and his dad. So you can look at this moment as one moment or as many moments. None of the moments bump into each other. They all weave together and arise into each other in lovely, intricate ways. The moment we are looking at, this phenomenal moment of you standing in the kitchen, can be experienced in two ways. As extending endlessly through all these other moments, and thus through nearly all of being in time. Locust tree, Guatemalan hillside, architect, sunlight, and on and on and on. Or that all these reaches of time and being are arising into this exact moment of you. If you get this, then you get what dependent arising is all about. And if you get this, you are also seeing that time is not an external container that the coffee, locust tree, and partner upstairs are all happening in. Time is the fabric of being, not an external container that being is happening in.